Well, Greene, God bless you all tuning in. It is Monday the 19th, 2026. And again, order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. Understand this is a part of the plan into the reset. They give and predictably put the world in dramatic chaos, of course, for the orderly new system and reset. They've already pre-planned long in advance. So God bless all of you tuning in. It is a Monday, the 19th. It's Martin Luther King Day. A lot of craziness has been going on worldwide. We see the intensity of Minneapolis, the threats of Donald Trump for the Insurrection Act, which I believe he will declare soon, the massive amounts of protesting. Don Lemon is actually being investigated right now by the White House. I believe he actually should be, for interfering with a private church congregation over the weekend. Absolutely sickening and detestable. Again, as an American, you have a right to worship Jesus Christ without being interfered by people like Don Lemon that are still just, showing their true colors. I mean, after getting fired essentially by the fake news and CNN, and because his whole show was absolutely worthless and he's so unpopular, he's literally invading and attacking pastors at Christian churches in America to get attention. It's like a little baby child, like whining or something because he's no longer on TV and he's got a crappy podcast. It's sickening and it's disgusting. And so I'm very glad that the president is moving ahead along with Washington, D.C., and just brute force retaliation and investigative attacks on Don Lemon. Don, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. We, of course, will pray for your demonic soul. Again, God bless all of you tuning in. So big news, Donald Trump just sent a letter to the head of Greenland. I'm going to read it to you. Just sent a letter to Norway's prime minister. And I want to read exactly verbatim from the White House. He says, "Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China," referring to Greenland. "And why do they have a right of ownership anyways? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. But we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, President Donald John Trump, the gangster." I added that last part. So Donald Trump threatens Norway. And the big takeaway here is that North Atlantic Treaty Organization has completely collapsed. So what was normalized during the baby boomer era is finished. Again, everything about your way of life is finished and it is dead. North Atlantic Treaty Organization is dead. Essentially, Trump has withdrawn from NATO. So this is a war from the old global flat earth system, right? And now a new Western hemispheric empire. Now, Donald Trump even called it that yesterday, I noticed. He calls it the American empire. So understand this is an empire, like Rome, okay? We're not a country anymore. This is an empire being formed. Now, I'm not necessarily saying even being in NATO's like a good or bad thing. I mean, we haven't really been on the same page on a lot of things for some time now. So the point is, everything's changing. Everything is shifting. You are in the reset now. And in my view, as I've been warning to all of you for a very long time, this is planned chaos because, again, that's how they'll give you order. I mean, this is all a part of the 33rd degree Freemasonry, which essentially established the United States of America. I mean, again, George Washington was a 33rd degree Mason. He had one of those like skirts on him when he put like the cornerstone of the Capitol building and laid the final stone. So understand that most of our founding fathers were all 33 degree Freemasons. So very, very interesting. Also, as the US dollar collapses worldwide, the fiat dollar hegemonic system, which has now died. And you can't put lipstick on a pig and make it look pretty. So the US dollar is officially collapsed, symbolized by precious metals rocketing higher over the weekend. I mean, folks, this is absolutely catastrophic for the United States of America and the financial system. This means the end of the petrodollar hegemony. It means the end of an epic, an end of an era. Gold price is now trading at a new 52-week high at near 4,700 on its way to crush $5,000 an ounce, which I've been predicting for some time, soon to be $10,000 an ounce very soon. And now silver, rocketing higher on its way to 100. It's getting to my next sell price target. Full disclosure, I took 25% in profits in silver in my personal allocation at around $80. I'll be taking another 25% at $100. But understand, none of this is good news. Look, I know we're all gold bugs here. We're all silver bugs. I love gold and silver as well. But understand, you're cheering the collapse of the United States. That every tick higher in silver means the destruction, civil unrest, and chaos in the streets of America. Every tick higher in gold means that the country as we once knew it is officially finished. It means it's over. Every tick higher in gold and silver that's being cheered. Again, I understand. I own it too. I'm excited. But every tick higher symbolizes the death of the middle class, the end of the United States as we once knew it. And the question is, what is this new reset, quote unquote, new normal that the demonic, satanic, bloodthirsty, vampiric, extremely evil Epstein list elite that they still have not exposed? What do they have planned for normal Americans? What, a part of their demonic, hellish ways? How are they setting up the American people for the next phase of events, of tumult, of disorder, of chaos? I told you again, the 2020, that period was just church picnic. It was literally nothing. Now you have the total social order of America going down the tubes. Bishops are warning clergy, for example, and the Catholic Church, and I'm not Catholic, is warning its clergy, its people in positions of power, and even its church congregates to make sure they've got their house in order with their last will and testament, and that they've made plans for what they expect coming to the United States. I mean, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You've got literally the Catholic Church telling its constituents to prepare for a new era of martyrdom in the United States. Now, in addition to this is creating massive alienation. Whether you agree with it or not, agree with Trump or don't, the rest of the world is now seething, brewing with hate for every single United States American, hating America with a passion. You have to understand this. As NATO collapses and Donald Trump makes gangster moves, the rest of the world seethes at the United States and its people. Now, I'm not saying like I agree with that or not. And I think the point is here, it proves the point. The American people have no say what happens next. You have no say in your government at all. You have no say in the decisions that are being made. None of you voted for attacking Greenland. And Donald Trump has just instituted tariffs on Greenland, which he never mentioned before his entire, pre-term. And now suddenly there's tariffs of, what is it, 10%, 15%? I don't even know what it is. Starting February 1st. I think it's like 10%, and then it goes up to 25% by June, if I remember correctly. Proving my point. I'm not even saying what Donald Trump is doing is wrong. It very well might be in the best interest of the United States and national security and the Golden Dome that he's building and the precious resources that we need there and the data mining centers they plan on building there and the Golden Dome that he just recently mentioned and the AI centers and all that kind of stuff. It might be necessary, but I'm just proving that Americans have no say in anything that's going on. So I just want you to know, like, if you're in other countries, you're watching America on fire right now in a ball of flames, and protests on the street, insurrection acts about to be declared, hyperinflation, dollar collapse, the list goes on, economic, financial, political chaos. Just understand the American people have no say at all. The only thing really Americans do is participate in a fake selection every 4 years. That's it. They don't have any say. They don't vote for the central bank. They don't have any decision-making on interest rates or the debt markets. They have no say in the bailouts that are declared by the elites. They have no say whether or not the Epstein list is released or not. They have no say on whether or not Greenland is attacked or purchased. Nothing. They have no say whether or not Iran is attacked and there's a regime change or Maduro is attacked, and captured. So just understand that in that sense, I think we can kind of relate with each other, that we all understand that this system is being run by very few people that are in charge. Now, here in America, it's a little different. Corporations own the United States through their lobbyists, and then they own the politicians that they bought long ago. Right? We've seen it all. Nancy Pelosi and her husband insider trading on Wall Street while they served their entire terms. That's how they got very rich. Buying and selling stocks, front-running the American people, essential racketeering and fraud. But again, all Americans pretty much know this. We all understand that it's all one big rigged job scam. We understand that the Epstein list will never be released. We understand that these deep state criminals are literally going to pull another fast one, and they're literally blaming aliens now on the future economic, financial collapse and destruction of the dollar and hyperinflationary event that we're currently living through. So, my opinion is Americans have woken up. And this is why there's anger brewing in the streets. Even Martin Luther King's holiday reemphasizes that the people have the power. Now again, MLK was a controversial figure. I understand. I know very well a lot of the controversy. The U.S. government, of course, was very concerned with MLK because he had a lot of power organizing people. They feared that he was essentially a communist. We all know what happened to him, by the way. It's no different than Charlie Kirk, when someone threatens the system and the people that are in power, you know what they do. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since the days of MLK. Nothing's changed today. Again, I'm not even equating Charlie Kirk with MLK, but I'm just proving the point that Charlie Kirk got a little too big for his britches. They didn't want him anymore. And so they got rid of him and hit the delete key. So it's really crazy to see where we are. Now, keep your head on a swivel. The United States now has positioned its entire arsenal, preparing for an imminent Iranian strike. This will be a decapitatory event. This will remove Khamenei and the alleged regime. It will be multi-pronged. It will be multiple days. It will be multiple strikes. They've positioned every asset. The USS Abraham Lincoln, along with our nuclear power subs and along with our new technologies that we just used on the EMF electromagnetic frequency spectrums, Havana syndrome type WEAPONs, S's, have and will be deployed. So it's very crazy. So again, the question here is, what is this world going to look like? How do you prepare for it? How do you manage order and sanity in your own lives when the elites essentially create a bunch of chaos? By the way, I'm going to give a tip to the quote unquote alleged aliens, which are fake and are not real because only demons exist. But losing my train of thought here. Well, I'm going to give a tip to the aliens. All the deep state dirty cabal will be in Davos this week. Okay? Just giving you a little tip. They'll all be at Davos. Just giving you a little tippity tip. So again, folks, I love you. We know where this is headed. We know where all of this is going. We know that the elites are creating disorder and chaos for a reason, to give you the new system. Out of order breeds chaos. Again, there is no incentive for peace. There is no reward from the deep state cabal's perspective for peace. Peace doesn't do this, okay? Curing cancer doesn't make anyone any money. That's why they allegedly haven't cured it yet, okay? Giving people free, abundant energy is not profitable. Making your life peaceful and joyful cannot be monetized. Creating abundance for all people and freedom and liberty is not profitable. Only slavery is. Targeted slavery. Taxation is extremely profitable. Freedom is not. So understand that truth. Understand there is zero incentive for peace and working together. There is only incentive for a scarcity, fear-based, non-abundance, fear-mongering, locked down, overly defrauded, hyper-taxed, ripped off by a bunch of Somalis. And we all go to work as good Americans and have to know we've been ripped off here in the United States, that these freaking demonic, child-abusing scumbags still walk free, that not a single criminal bankster piece of scum has been prosecuted since 2008 and 09. And the American people are getting incredibly pissed off. So today, on Martin Luther King Day, I have a dream. I see and will take you to the mountaintop. I am your general of the kingdom of God. I see a future of freedom and abundance and prosperity and peace and love and joy. And that is where we're going. God is in control. The people have the power. The politicians work for us. We want no part in the demonic police surveillance state that is being built. I have a dream, ladies and gentlemen. In other breaking news, RoboCops have been deployed to Chinese cities. So they're using the robots that Elon Musk and others are designing to take up traffic duties in a Minority Report type surveillance state. So we're all moving to that direction too. An AI governance board, AI presidents, AI politics, all of it is headed this direction. And I love you guys. So again, keep your eye on Greenland. Keep your eye on Iran. Remove your money from the banks. You want to be in physical assets? Here Monday, January 19th, 2026. It has been my primary mission to get you into physical, no bank debt assets to produce capital gains and cash flows. Use new technology to 1000x, you and your families. Join other Christians. You have the power. I am living proof you can realize all of your hopes and dreams, that anything is possible. Again, I have a dream for your freedom. I have a dream for your 1776. I have a dream that you'll onboard the digital Noah's Ark. I have a dream. And I see the mountaintop. And I have witnessed the grace and the love of our God. And I see his imminent return up only. And we are riding with him, ladies and gentlemen. So today, Monday, January 19th, as the world descends into chaos, in remembrance of MLK and all great, peaceful, non-compliant leaders, we salute you. We may not agree with all your politics. We might not have agreed with everything that happened, throughout history. But we can all agree that freedom is a human right, that the ability to be free and not enslaved by totalitarian dictatorship governments is our right, and that all people of all color, all religions, and all sects have a right to be free. We have a right not to be defrauded by the deep state. We have a right for justice. We have a right not to be taxed into oblivion. We have the right and freedom to move and travel. We have the right not to be locked down in our houses. We have the right to peacefully protest. We have the right to not comply. And we have the right to worship our God and our one true King. You are living through 1776 in the United States of America. And I am your commander here at the digital Noah's Ark. God bless. In positive news, I'm expecting a massive cryptocurrency Bitcoin blockchain rally starting as markets open. And this pans out this week. Retail is out. The elites have moved in. Central banks and sovereigns are buying. BlackRock is all in. The reset is happening now. And again, understand, this is planned disorder. It is planned chaos. Every single day, we read about some new trauma event, some new letter, some new threatening tariff, some new protest, some new whatever it is, war, capture, the list goes on and on. They're doing that for a reason. Maintaining high levels of fear allows the demonic cabal to maintain high levels of control. So don't fall into that trap like a rat looking for a piece of cheese and then the thing goes down. That's all that's happening. And understand the only thing you control is moving your money out of the banks, becoming wealthy, organizing with your friends and family, taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul, helping your churches, being a silent witness, sharing the gospel. That's what actually matters, saving people's souls from what is coming. Liking, sharing this content, following me on X. conversing with your friends and family. Yes, self-preservation, Matt. I'm yelling because chaos has erupted. That is why. Again, very few Americans even understand the gravity of what's happening right now. I love you all. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. 1776. Have a beautiful day. I will keep you updated on all the new chaos, all of the new attacks, the destruction and death of the dollar, and the continued hyperinflation. I will keep you posted on every single move of the dirty, deep state cabal as we move forward. Let's go, Yang family. Let's go. God bless. It is an absolute honor. And again, you have the power. Peaceful non-compliance. It's very easy. It's something the government is extremely fearful of, which is why they spend so much money and spend so much time doing what? Using every tactic, every technology, and every deployment mechanism to do one thing: control how you act, but more importantly, what you think about. Again, remember in 2020, the meme? You remember what the cure was for that? Throw your TV out the window. If you threw your TV out the window and your phone out the window, there's nothing to worry about, right? That meme was a powerful meme. Just, hey, throw it out the window and everything's fine. You know, if you lived on a remote island or something, nothing even happened. Again, understand that truth. Very exciting times to be alive. God bless. It is an honor. I love you all. Jesus Christ, of course, is Lord. Please like and share. Follow me on X at AMTV Media before I go private at 150K. I want to thank you all. I have nearly 150K followers now. Thank you so much. I will keep you updated.